Hey everybody, it's Jenny. I am trying something brand new. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that it just occurred to me that I could potentially share with you as I plan. I don't need to go back and do a voiceover. So please bear with me, please be kind. I have never ever done this before. So I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to try it anyway. Here is this week in my Happy Planner. It is the Modern Simple. It's the same one I've been using all year long, and I used a pink color palette. This is how I'm currently doing my meal planning on these sheets. It's great because I can write out my meals, then add my list. I'm using this new Socialite bookmark. I love the size. It's actually one of the things I love about this too because it's not the full classic size, so I can still see around it, and I really enjoy that. So we'll go ahead and we'll flip to next week. You can see that I have all of my sticky notes for my pre-planning. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the left-hand side of the page. And then the first thing I'm going to do actually though is I'm going to go ahead and write my son's workout over here in the notes column. And I do this because he doesn't go to a set one, though actually that's not entirely true. He usually does go on Mondays. However, he doesn't always go to a set one. So I like to have that right here so I can remember when the days are that we could potentially go should something come up or change in our schedule. Okay, so now that's finished and I can go ahead and start planning. So you see I have all of the sticky notes already. And so what I can do is, because of that, I can start to add all of my planning and my decorative elements. Now I'm going to share with you the decorative elements that I'm using this week. I am using this really super cute Doodlebug design pumpkin party. I love it. I'm so obsessed with it. The images are all so adorable. Hopefully you can get a good look at those. I think they're stinking cute and I'm going to use them. I'm also going to use the patterned papers. I'll use my Happy Planner punch to go with that. And then also there's a couple of sheets of stickers as well. So there's these mini icons and it comes with 2 sheets. You can see that right here. And then there's the regular icons, which are a little bit bigger. So for example, you can see like the little girl that's dressed up like a cat, like the mini icons, they're just a tiny bit smaller, but they're the same images. And I have all of the washies too, and they are so cute. I'm actually going to just go ahead and say that I'm enabling you because I'm obsessed with how adorable these are, and I'm sure you're going to think they're pretty cute too. That's adorable. It's confetti. I'm sure you can tell that, and they're really adorable spiders. I'm thinking that's what I use. And then this one too. So anyway, they're very cute. But don't hold me to the spiders because I'm thinking about the black cats as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the classic Happy Planner punch, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 3 patterned papers from the pad to use. This one's really cute. I'm not going to use it, but do you see the spooky little trees? It's adorable. Now what I think I will do though is I think I will use this black and white just because it's pretty, I don't want to say basic, but kind of like it's a little bit more neutral. And do you see these adorable things on the back of this one? They actually are a great size for the planner. They wouldn't fill the entire box, but they're very, very close and very cute. Oh my gosh, those ghosts might just be the whole thing for me. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I have another one picked out. I'm not sure for the last one. Okay, so I want to use this plaid just mostly because I think it's really adorable. And the pumpkins on the back are pretty cute too. So maybe I will use those as well. See what I mean? They're cute. Okay, so we've got the plaid, the stripe, and I think I do need something pretty Halloweenish to go along with that. So maybe I will choose either the pumpkins or I don't know, I kind of like those ghosts. So let's just go with the ghosts. Okay, so there we go. First I have those. And I think that what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this aside. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to make sort of the craziest one in the center and then have the outside edges be the more plain versions. I'll have more room to decorate on the outsides, and I feel like this kind of anchors it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my tape runner. I use a couple of different ones. This is the one that I use mostly in my planner. It's Tombow and it is permanent. You can pull them back up, but for the most part, they're pretty sticky and they're not going anywhere, which I really like that about it. Even if you don't love real candy corn, look how cute those little candy corns are. Okay, so anyway, now we have some really adorable pumpkins and some kids. I don't know what to choose, to be honest with you. Sorry, I hate the packaging noise, and if I had done a voiceover, you wouldn't have to listen to that. But because I didn't, you do. Oh my gosh, is that not adorable? So maybe ghosts is the way to go. I'm not gonna lie, as far as Halloween decoration goes, I also really like spiders. I don't know why. I mean, I don't care about them in real life, but I just for some reason find them to be really, really cute. Okay, so I'm gonna try to sort through these pretty quickly. I'm definitely going to use that one. See, I really like these little pumpkins though too. They're so cute. Well, I have an idea. That's really adorable too. It's a little bit too big for my planner, probably, for all of my busy weeks. However, I really like it and I think it's cute. Okay, so as you can see, there's just so many different choices in this package of die cuts, which is fine. I just need to go ahead and sort through all of them. Okay, so here's another ghost. So I think that what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set these guys aside and then pack all of these up back in here. Now it doesn't mean, well, maybe they are my favorites, but that isn't the point. The point is that there's lots and lots of other cute ones as well. Okay, so now I can put those aside as well. So now what I'm thinking is that down here in this, what I'm thinking is that up here in this spot, I can add one ghost, right? So I might add this flying guy because he fits nicely and, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll put him there. Then I'm thinking that perhaps this pumpkin and then this ghost and the little doily can go together down here. Now, I really want the doilies with the ghosts because I feel like they kind of anchor them. You know, I like to use 3 elements together, not just 2. And so I feel like that's more visually appealing. And this way you have the 3 elements right there and the doily anchors the ghost. Now down here you're thinking, but what about you have 4 things? I'm coming back to that one. I'm not 100% finished there. Now this guy is pretty cute too. So what I'm thinking is that perhaps maybe, no, I don't love that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add another little pumpkin. So I think this is probably okay. Now I'll put these aside because they're going to go on the right hand page, and then I'm going to go with this. Now normally I would not adhere all of my things to the page before I add my plans, but because I have all my plans already down on the paper, I can sort of already see what's going on, and I know that I have room for this. And that's really my main concern, is making sure that I have room for my plans. So I'm going to go ahead and add that right there in the center of those boxes. Add some adhesive to my little guy. Oh, he's so cute. Then I will add this. Now, if I was doing scrapbooking, I would actually maybe use a foam square to give him a little bit of dimension, but because I'm not, I'm just using the plain old adhesive. Now I will pull out this pumpkin right here, mostly because it's the biggest one that I have, and then I'm going to layer him on top of that guy. Okay, that's totally adorable, and I'm super excited about that. So now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off and just stick it down here real quick so that I can put this guy up here. That's adorable, right? Pretty darn cute. So we will go ahead and we will add the adhesive to the back, and then I'm going to set him pretty much in the middle, not 100%, but mostly. And then the same thing, just the adhesive on the back. There. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use quite a bit of stamping on this particular layout. I won't do all of it, but I will do some of it. So now it will require taking a look at the stamps that I have for these things. So I'm using not all and only Happy Planner stamps, but I will use some for sure. So let's see. One of the problems is that sometimes, just like stickers, I forget what I have, so I have to kind of reevaluate those things. But I actually really like that because then I can sort of revisit all of them, which I think is really nice. Okay, so I have this stamp right here, and I'm going to go ahead and use that one. Again, I apologize in the advance for the packaging noise, but just is there. Okay. I'll go ahead and stick that on the clear block. I'm going to use my black Versafine ink. Voila! Now I would use a baby wipe to clean that off, and I certainly still will. I just have not done that yet. I'm simply going to write this in right there. Now I have this really cute little, see, baby wipes. I like the Huggies. They don't usually leave too much of a mess on the stamp, not too much of the lint. Some of the brands, I think I picked some up at a store once and it left a lot of lint on the stamp. So you'll see the ink comes off on here, and then the stamp is clean to be used. You don't have to clean your stamps off, but most people want to. I only actually care because I'm really messy and I don't want to end up with ink everywhere. Now I actually think this is really adorable. Do you see this? I'm going to go ahead and use that star checklist for my to-do list on Monday. So I'll go ahead and stick it to the block. See that right there? And now this is my primary stamping inks. I do have a couple of others, but I use mostly only these. These are pigment inks. They won't bleed through the paper. They'll just sit on top. So they do require a tiny bit more of drying time, but I don't find that's a problem. And I consider myself to be very, very messy. So I feel like if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Firm, even pressure all over the block. Don't rock it or anything like that. And there you go. So that's my to-do list. Now I left a little bit of room up top because I'm thinking that a little strip of washi might look cute there. It's okay if it doesn't, and it's okay if I end up just not adding washi there. But in case I feel like it, I can leave that right there. Now, as you can see, I do have some issues with my to-do list for Tuesday, and by issues, I mean that there's not a whole lot of room. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the to-do list down at the bottom. And what I was initially considering was just adding the lines, but I've decided that that's not exactly the way that I want to go because I have these lines here. Do you see that? So I don't want lines here and here. I feel like that's a little bit too matchy-matchy. So I'm going to go ahead and go through my other stamps that I just already pulled out and see what I have. And mostly just to see what I have room for, to be perfectly honest, because I don't have room for everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the back of this block. I know that for a new stamper that would be difficult because you can't really see it through the back, but for me this should be okay. Keep my fingers crossed. Black ink. Okay, I lied. I'm not going to do that. I can't really get a good visual, and since I don't have all of the room that I'm accustomed to, I'm going to go ahead and take this one off. And I'll re-ink it again because I'm sure it started to dry already, and then I'm going to add my to-do list right there. There, and I love that. I love the black with that little cluster too. I think that turned out really nice. Now I'm not going to just stamp all of the extra things on here. I just wanted to add some stamping. So I think that what I'll go ahead and do now is that I will, let's see, let's get out a box from the colorful boxes. Now, one of the issues is certainly that I don't have any orange stickers in here, which I don't know that I would actually say that that was an issue. I mean, that makes it sound like it's really like a thing, which it is not, but it's kind of a thing. I'm going to go ahead and use purple just because I can and it's fun. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it just ever so slightly over on top of this cluster. So I will put my activity information okay. Then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take a little, I'm sure I can find one of these Happy Planner stamps somewhere. Let's just do a little small star. Now these stamps do require a little bit more before use. I rub them on the back of my hand. That primes them, and you'll have a lot better success that way with these particular acrylic stamps. Now the ones that I already used are photopolymer, and those don't require any priming beforehand, but the acrylic ones do. And so you'll see a lot of people talking about, oh, do this, do that. You know what? Rubbing them on the back of your hand works great. It's really easy, and obviously you have a hand, so because you're stamping with it, you can just rub it on your skin. So then I will put my other activity right there. Okie doke. So now we're finished with that. I'm going to go ahead and clear up my sticky notes so that I can just throw those away and clean up my mess. Now, I will go ahead and add a to-do list right here, and I'm sort of kind of trying to decide what I'd like to add here. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure what I have now that we have all of these new girl stickers, Happy Planner girl stickers, and so I need to kind of go through those just a little bit to see if I have something that has a full box and would match. And I'm kind of thinking maybe Miss Maker, since there's so many colors, but we'll see. These are all so cute, and I'm really enjoying the fun colors and the new icons and all of those things. I think I'm going to go with this purple Get It Done. It's very pretty and goes with the theme. Well, okay, maybe not the theme, but at least the color palette. Am I right? Okay, so we will add that to here, and I'm just going to put it right there in that corner. So it does not fit directly in the boxes, and that's okay. So I have a doctor's appointment to note. So what I will do is, let's see, I do have several stamps for that. So let's go ahead and use this little stethoscope right here. And I'm going to use the orange ink again. This is Versacolor Orange. It, like I said already, is a pigment ink. It is my second choice. I prefer Versafine. However, it doesn't come in that many colors, and so you can't always get it in the color that you need. So these are my second choice. Now I will add something else down here at the bottom, but for right now I'm going to leave that just so that I can see what else needs to go in right here. Now I'm going to move over my stamp so that I can switch to the right hand side of the page. I can also clean up my sticky notes. So I think that turned out really cute. I'm a big fan actually. And let's pull this out. That's adorable, am I right? Hopefully you think so too. Now, let's see here. I think I'll put my other little decorative cluster down here in this bottom right-hand corner based on my activities. So these are both morning activities, so I'll put that down here. And it doesn't really matter. I'm not married to the idea of it having to be in the same box or anything like that. I just figured, might as well, because I can. So I will go ahead and adhere this right there. So cute, the cute little ghosty. Now, what else I'm going to do, this just came to me, so I'm going to do this, is I'm going to just put adhesive on half, have half of it on there. I don't know where my small scissors are. They're buried on my desk somewhere, so I'm going to use these big honking ones. But then I will go ahead and cut that off. So now I can put the rest of that doily back, or if you're not into saving, you could just toss it out. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and start planning. Now I will be out of town this half of the week, so it will look a little bit different than this half of the week because of that. So what I'm going to do, add that, and I'm just pulling off Thursday. I'm going to leave the rest of those on there for right now. And I had decided that, oh, I recall now, I was going to put this over here. Well, let's see if I can get that guy out. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to. How's that for indecision? Okay, so now I need to add some information, and I have a lot of things for the day. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this slightly larger block. I'm going to use this little notebook. firm, even pressure on the entire block, no rocking or anything like that. I'm gonna wipe the ink off just because I don't want to get it all over my fingers, and then transfer it to the paper. Okay. I'm actually going to add this cute little spider to this one too. Just for fun, because it's adorable. No other reason than that. Okay, I think it's adorable. Maybe you hate spiders and you don't think it's adorable, but I do. So, okay, so those are finished. Now I will go ahead and at the bottom, I think that what I'm going to do is, because I have a dentist appointment, well, orthodontist appointment, and also another baseball game. So I think that what I will do is I will add a stamp and a sticker. So we have the super adorable dentist appointment stamps. So I'll wipe this doctor's appointment one off that I used already. Set it aside. I'm going to prime it because, again, it's an acrylic stamp and I don't want, what I want is I want to get the clearest, cleanest impression possible, and that will do that in the simplest, easiest way. There we go. Wiping it off with the baby wipe. Okay, and then the last thing that I need to add is another baseball game. So I think that what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to add it's kind of tough when there's a lot of choices. In some ways I feel like there's almost too many because it's very, very hard to decide which things to use. Okay, so here's the thing too. I don't like stamping over lines that are already there. And I know that probably seems a little bit crazy, but it just is what it is. I can't help it. So it's just the way my brain works. So instead of taking too much time to find the perfect thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out another little box sticker and use that. Now remember, I'm out of town, so I don't need some of the things I would ordinarily put for the end of this week. So for example, I would normally put like a to-do list or something like that, but because I'm out of town, I don't need that. How cute those ghosts are. I know I already used the ghost and I'm not using it again. I just wanted to point it out. Okay, so I'm gonna add that cute little candy, really just for a little bit of color down there, because as you can see, there's a lot of black, so I don't want to have that. Well, that one didn't turn out very cute, but it's all right. I don't really care. It will be fine. All right, so now I have a couple of things that I need to add. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this down here, and then I'm going to take a little candy corn, because if you've noticed, the candy corns kind of resemble like a little arrow, and I'm going to put that right there and put that like that. Okay, so now we are going to move down into the bottom, and I'm going to think and think and think and think yet again about what I'm going to use. This is one of the reasons why I feel like voiceovers are maybe a little bit better, because I'm not exactly sure how to explain to you the thought process, if you will. But maybe the thought process is interesting. I don't know. So this airplane stamp right here, I'm going to go ahead and use that one. And I actually think I probably have a cuter one somewhere, but I would have to search for it. Newsflash, I'm searching for it currently because I'm now obsessed with the idea that I must have a cuter one somewhere. So there's that. Okay, well, that's taking too long. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the airplane. I'm going to take off the other old stamp. Where is that orange? Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not going to use the orange. I'm going to use the green. And I'm going to use the green because I need to balance out some of the green on the rest of the layout, and I don't really have anything, so I need to add a few elements of green in. And because I have green ink, I should use it. Now, one of the issues is, of course, that I don't love green. It's not my favorite color. Okay, that's all cleaned off. I can set that aside, and then I can write. Okay. Now I also need to add a game information. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to try this circle. Okay, so you can see it's just a circle stamp, and lay it upside down and pick it up with the block. Now, one of the things that does is that it allows the stamp to retain its shape. Because this stamp is very, very thin, you see it's just the outline. Sometimes you could sort of skew this, you know, like this, like it's not completely right. Do you see that, how it's not right? So if you turn it over, pick up the stamp with just the block, you sort of alleviate that a little bit. Now I am going to use the orange. Be afraid, I'm using my left hand for this, so I should be using this opposite. So let's hope I don't get ink everywhere. Okay, that turned out cute. Oh my goodness. Now I will go ahead and wipe the stamp off. What I do is I just use all the stamps, I set them aside, and then when I'm all finished, I pick them up and put them all away at the very end when I'm done, versus putting them away while I'm working, because that just takes a little bit longer, and I'm not really interested in taking a little bit longer, so this makes it easier for me. Now, to have the contrast between the orange and the black, I'm going to use the little star and make it black, just because it's cute and I like the orange and the black together. I think they look adorable. So I'm just wiping off the excess ink, and and I will set that aside. I clearly have ink somewhere on me. Oh, I found it. It's on my arm, so like on the back side of my forearm, because I'm finding ink all over my desk. So now I need to write my son's baseball. Okay, so there is that. Now I can also remove that sticky note. So now I have just a few things to add right here, and I will also have something down here as well. So I'm trying not to use this portion. So I'll put my stuff up here. For continuity purposes, I'm going to do the same thing with the candy corn right here, just because I like the repeating. I think that looks cute. And I'm going to then I will add, let's see, what could I use here? So many choices and lots of fun ones, but what do I have for boxes? It's a very hard decision. All right, so I'm going to take these. I've always been a big fan of this box for whatever reason. Put that right here. I think I'll do green again in the idea of bringing some green to the layout. Just adding the pigment ink. There. Okie doke. I'm thinking I need to add, what I want to do is a little arrow, and I'm trying to decide if I have one of those somewhere. Ordinarily I use stickers that I have, but I don't really want to do that. So just trying to figure out if I have an arrow that I can use. All right, let's try this. Okay, so I've got this stamp. I'm going to take that off of here, but first I need to clean this one off. So I shall wipe it with the baby wipe. And again, I'm still just using the same baby wipe I've been using the whole time. It's still perfectly damp and cleaning the ink off. I have no problem using an additional one, I just don't need it. Going to go ahead and put that on there. And then I'm going to use the black ink, ink it up. Then I'm going to line this up with the lines from Sunday, press down firmly with even pressure. There we go. Now I'll clean it off because black ink definitely seems to be my nemesis. Wipe it. Okay. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out, I know I've got one. Alright, so I've got a little baseball stamp here. This is a really old one from Sweet Stamp Shop. I doubt you can probably still get it if I was honest, but maybe on like a buy sell trade board, or maybe a different brand certainly too. Now you could also use a sticker in there. I will just go ahead and wipe that off. Truth be told, I think that's the only ball I've ever actually used out of that stamp set, maybe the basketball, but okay, so we'll put . Sometimes I'll put the icon stamp over here and then right in the box. Either way, I like it. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have these new pens that I got last weekend. I think that the brand is Pentel, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put, I could have used purple too, certainly, but my niece is coming and my husband is taking her to the Drake concert. I've actually already been to a Drake concert, so that's why this works out, but I also have some work commitments. There we go. So now I've added that down there. I don't love it. Obviously, it doesn't work that great with the doily and such, but I'm really not going to worry about that. So other people might, but for me, it is just fine. So now I've got the open area still, which is great. And then I'm going to go up here and add that airplane stamp again. And let's see. You know what, I think I'm going to use the black this time. I feel like I've had a lot of other colors. I want to incorporate a little bit more black. I'm going to put that right there. So now we've got that so that I can write her flight information again up there. I need to look it up and I don't need to waste the time right this minute because I don't have any other flight stuff, so that should work just fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull this down here so that I can add that baseball game right there. And I think for the interest of just ease, I'm going to use another box sticker. And let's go with green. I don't know if it's the right choice or not, but I think it'll be just fine. Now, surprisingly, for not liking green, I've used a lot of green stickers, but that's okay. And actually, now that I think about it, what if... No, I don't love that idea. What I was going to do was use one of the bigger stickers and then layer smaller stickers on top of it. But I don't need one this big, and this color I don't, or this size, I don't have the color that I want to use. So that's a little bit of a struggle. What to do. So I think that instead, what I will do, I've got a lot of stamping over here, so I don't really want to use another stamp up here. I really kind of want to use a sticker. So I'm thinking that maybe I have a let's see. Maybe Socialite will have a green sticker that I can use for an activity because there's quite a bit of green in here. There we go. It doesn't match perfectly, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. I know it would bother other people, but that's the beauty of it, right? If it bothers you, you don't have to use it. So I'm going to put that right there, and then I can add okie doke. So now I'm mostly finished with my decorative planning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some alphabet stickers. So give me just a second. Okay, so I'm going to use these Doodlebug alphabet stickers, and I'm going to use them to spell Arizona. So, because I will be in Arizona for the second half of that week. Now, what's interesting on here is I do not see a I guess I see a lowercase z. I just don't love it. Okay, so actually, I've changed my mind about how I'm going to do this. I was going to start with the middle, but instead I'm going to start at the end. And I want to use all lowercase alphabet stickers. It's just what I want to do. I'm going to let the A overlap on the ghosty just a little bit. Arizona. So now I need an N. See, that's the kind of stuff that happens when you don't do voiceovers. And what that means is that it's time to go pick up my son from school. So, as luck would have it, I'm almost finished. That works out great. There we go. So that turned out pretty cute. I do think maybe the tiniest bit of washi up here is definitely an order. And I'm thinking maybe the spiders, even though I wanted to go with the black hats, but I think the spiders because A, I've included other spiders like this little guy over here, but also because I think I could use the green over here. I didn't use really enough to balance it out. So I'll go ahead and add the washi and we'll be finished. So now I do like to use my X-Acto knife to trim this off. I know not everybody does, and everybody has their own methods of doing these things. That's just what works for me and what I have handy. There. So I think that turned out pretty darn cute. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping that you guys liked this look into my planning process as I went. And I'll see you back here real soon. Thank you so much.